We're learning more this afternoon about the Cincinnati area man arrested for allegedly plotting to bomb the U.S. Capitol building and shoot anyone who tried to run. 20-year-old Christopher Cornell is in a Butler County jail right now. Since graduating from Oak Hills High School in 2012, the FBI says he transformed into a homegrown terrorist using the name Raheel Maras Ubeda. Here is a step-by-step look at the investigation into Christopher Cornell. The FBI says in August, Cornell sent a tweet that triggered an FBI informant to establish contact with him. On August 29th, Cornell told the informant he was in contact with ISIS and was starting to plan an attack. Cornell then met the informant on October 17th and 18th. The FBI says Cornell said he needed weapons and wanted to move on an attack in December. The informant met Cornell again on November 10th and 11th. That is when agents say he revealed his plan to attack the U.S. Capitol. Neighbors gave 9 on Your Side this phone video of the FBI raiding Cornell's home, going through his room, taking the family's computers, even Cornell's Xbox. The FBI found a Quran and instructions for materials to be used in that attack on the U.S. Capitol. Agents have been watching Cornell since October. They arrested him yesterday morning at a gun shop in Colerain Township. That is where they say he went to buy 2 AR-15 rifles similar to this one and 600 rounds of ammo. The manager says he didn't notice anything unusual at first.
You know, he was a little shy, but talkative. Nothing really out of the ordinary about him at all. Certainly nothing that would indicate that he was involved in something of this magnitude.
But FBI agents were inside and outside the shop. They had been tracking Cornell after a tip from an informant who warned them about threats he was making online. Now at noon, Islamic organizations here in the tri-state are weighing in on Cornell's arrest and the plot revealed by the FBI. 9 on Your Side reporter Zach Pitts has more on that. Zach?
Well, Julie, this morning I talked to the Council on American Islamic Relations. The executive director says it's very clear that Christopher Cornell was misguided.
It's extremely regrettable that this young man apparently has not had the proper education as far as what Islam teaches.
The Islamic Center in West.
And that was Karen Dabdoob. She says Islam teaches to hold life sacred and that only God decides when life should end. She also says the religion teaches not to go to extremes, which is what some would say Cornell was preparing to do. Now, you may remember that Cornell's parents said it seemed like their son was, quote, just lost. Dabdoob agrees.
Learning about a new faith is a process that takes years. It's not something that you can learn in a matter of a few weeks. And it's certainly not something that you can just learn online.
Now, Cornell's parents have not seen him since he was arrested. We do have a crew at the Butler County Jail right now. We are waiting to hear when they will be allowed to have contact with their son. They told us last night that they don't believe he could plan something like this on his own. Julie, back to you.
All right, Zach, and we are gathering more details about Cornell from the time he spent in high school, which was just a few years ago. 9 on Your Side reporter Mario Ramirez is live in Bridgetown, where teachers are speaking about how he behaved.
20-year-old recently changed his name and he's now accused of a massive terror plot. But before all of that unfolded, he spent his time here, 4 years at Oak Hills High School, and people here knew him simply as Christopher or Chris. Now, we spoke to the principal of the high school, and he tells us that this comes as a complete shock to everyone here. He was able to track down Cornell's math and English teachers during his senior year back in 2012, an average student who showed no signs of being a troubled teen. He was also involved in sports, taking part in the wrestling team while he was here.
They described him as on the quiet side, but not an introvert. I think he had friends and people that he hung out with.
The principal released a statement to follow up with us this morning, in part saying, quote, during his time at Oak Hills High School, he was a typical student. Christopher was not a disruption or a discipline problem in school. He also attended Bridgetown Middle School. We've reached out to the school, but no comment this afternoon. For now, we're live in Bridgetown. Mario Ramirez, 9 on Your Side.
All right, Mario. Senator Rob Portman released a statement on the FBI arrest. It says, I applaud the FBI and other law enforcement officials on their work to thwart this potential terrorist act. It is an important reminder of the very real threat that radical Islam continues to pose to the homeland. We're staying on top of these new developments. As we learn more, we will share it on air and online on WCPO.com. Read the court documents and the arrest warrant right now.